Something dangerous is happening in Africa and nobody's talking about it. In fact, a lot of people are not even aware of this. Israel and Palestine war is coming down to Africa. Israel in talks with Congo and other countries on Gaza voluntary migration plan. Note, this article was published by the Times of Israel, meaning it is official. This is not mere speculation. No, this is what the Israeli government is planning of doing. From day one, I told you guys that whatever is happening has got nothing to do with religion. It has got nothing to do with Hamas. This is pure ethnic cleansing by the Zionist movement. Now, this whole thing started 2 days ago. And it seems like some government officials in Congo has accepted this offer, right? They'll give them some small coins and push the Palestinians to Congo DRC. This is very dangerous. If Congo DRC accept these refugees, then this will be pure double standard and hypocrisy. Because currently the biggest war in Congo DRC is between the West and East. According to the West, the Tutsi tribe are not from Congo. They are refugees from Rwanda, and they want them out. How do you kick out your fellow black people from Congo DRC, then accept Arabs? It doesn't make sense to me. Look, I support Palestine 100%. I don't believe that, Hamas, they are terrorist group. No, these guys are fighting for their freedom. These guys are freedom fighters. I don't believe that these guys are terrorists. No. But let us not make any mistake by receiving any Arab on this continent. That would be one of the biggest mistakes if we accept these Palestinians as refugees. Recently Netanyahu and his government were trying to move these Palestinians to Sinai, but Egypt rejected, right? Now, if you look at the countries around Palestine, they are Arab countries. Why are they not taking in these refugees from Palestine? They don't want them for many reasons. You see, one of the main reasons why the Arab countries around Palestine are not willing to take in Palestinian refugees is because of what happened in the Nakba War in 1948, right? So, in 1948, when Israel kicked out over 750,000 Palestinians from their homes, some of them settled in Syria, Jordan, Lebanon. They were scattered across, the Middle East. But today, they are a problem for them. These Palestinians don't want to go back. They are not willing to go back to Gaza. Looking at what is happening, they don't want to go back. And these countries, they don't know what to do now. And that is one of the main reasons why they don't want to accept Palestinian refugees again. Let me repeat this again. Refugees might look innocent today, but we can't predict their future. We don't know what they will do in future. The funny thing is, almost 200,000 Congolese are now refugees in Rwanda. and Israel is trying to send refugees to Congo DRC, while some people in Congo DRC are running to Rwanda. Interesting. Okay, so let me play this video for you guys. This is video evidence of how Israel is trying to kick out the Palestinians to Congo DRC. Yes, this is the video. But before I play the video, let me take this opportunity to remind everybody that Timo Media, we are still working on our podcast studio. And we also have a WhatsApp platform which is meant for only our donors. Yes. So those of you who want to contribute, who want to support, please, you can send me a message on +233 5519 48054. If you want to also contribute, not everybody want this whole publicity thing. Not everybody want to be in a WhatsApp group. Those of you who want to support us, is the same number, 05519488054. The name is Al Hassan Timothy. Now check this video out.
An Israeli newspaper is now reporting that multiple officials in Israel are holding secret meetings with other countries around the world to discuss displacing Palestinians from Gaza, also known as ethnic cleansing. Now, let me just say, this is something that we have been warning about for weeks now. And all of the Israel defenders kept denying that this was the reality, because they wanted to pretend as though, no, you don't understand. Israel is the only democracy in the region. Israel is above all that. They would never carry out ethnic cleansing. Well, they're carrying out ethnic cleansing, and it is now abundantly clear. We have the evidence. Now, last Monday, Netanyahu said at a Likud meeting that he is, in fact, working to facilitate the voluntary resettlement of Gazans to other countries. Voluntary is a weird way of putting it when your plan is to make the Gaza Strip unlivable by leveling the Gaza Strip. So people feel that they have no choice but to leave the Gaza Strip because, it is unlivable in Gaza. No residential buildings, no functioning hospitals. This was the plan all along. Hence the indiscriminate bombing that we have been seeing in footage, in reports, in, unbiased media that we've been sharing with you here at TYT. Now, Netanyahu said, our problem is finding countries that are willing to absorb Gazans, and we are working on it. The prime minister was responding to Likud MK Danny Danon, who claimed that the world is already discussing the possibilities of voluntary immigration, though the idea has been roundly rejected by the international community. And that's probably because the international community does not want to aid and abet the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians from the Gaza Strip. A senior official also says that Israel is now holding talks with several countries. Netanyahu's coalition is allegedly pushing for the Democratic Republic of Congo to accept thousands of immigrants from Gaza. In 2021, Congo's level of human development was ranked 179th out of 191 countries by the Human Development Index and is classified as the least developed country in the UN, or by the UN, I should say. It is currently experiencing political instability, lots of clashes between opposing political groups in Congo. Not exactly the type of place people would want to immigrate to, which makes it no surprise to me that Netanyahu and the goons and his far-right government want to push Palestinians out of their land and into a country like the Democratic Republic of Congo. A senior source in Israel's security cabinet said, quote, Congo will be willing to take in migrants, and we're in talks with others. The idea was also raised in regard to Saudi Arabia taking in Palestinians, thousands of Palestinians, to do construction work. We'll go through more specific calls for displacing Palestinians as well. But first, here's Middle East analyst Muin Rabbani explaining how calls for ethnic cleansing saw a resurgence right after the October 7th attacks and the ongoing effort to carry it out. Let's watch.
The proposal that was put front and center, literally on October 7th and onwards, was to move the population of the Gaza Strip to the Sinai Desert, to Egypt. And this was an idea that was very enthusiastically embraced by the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. He was met with categorical refusal and rejection for this proposal, first and foremost by Egypt. And the U.S. and European governments later came out with a position that they would oppose forced displacement from the Gaza Strip, leaving open the possibility of what we're seeing now, an Israeli military campaign, a primary objective of which is to make the Gaza Strip unfit for human habitation, and then the encouragement of voluntary, or what is now even being called humanitarian emigration in order to achieve the ethnic cleansing.
I mean, this is what we heard from David Frum on yesterday's show. I played a snippet of an interview that he had on Al Jazeera where he tried to put a pretty face on the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. By the way, if you're unfamiliar with David Frum, he's the person who would write George W. Bush's speeches as Bush was conducting his own war crimes in the Middle East. He's the one who dubbed the so-called axis of evil, fear-mongered about various countries that the United States should invade and engage in preemptive wars of. David Frum is someone who is so fully discredited, it is shocking to me that anyone has any interest in listening to anything he has to say. But he did, in fact, try to paint this pretty picture of the displacement and ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, arguing that they should be allowed into other countries in order to work and send money back to the Gaza Strip. Around the world.